An email server is a system that handles the sending, receiving, and storage of emails. It uses several components and protocols to ensure messages are routed correctly between the sender and recipient. Here's a detailed explanation of how an email server works. Basic components of an email server. Mail User Agent, MUA. This is the email client like Outlook, Gmail, or Thunderbird that users interact with to send and receive emails. Mail Transfer Agent, MTA. The MTA is responsible for transferring emails from one server to another. It uses protocols like SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, to route the emails. Mail Delivery Agent, MDA. Once an email reaches its destination server, the MDA delivers it to the recipient's inbox. Mail Exchanger, MX records. These are DNS records that tell other mail servers where to deliver emails for a particular domain. How an email travels from sender to recipient. The entire process of sending and receiving an email involves multiple steps and servers working together. Below is a breakdown of the process. Sender's side, outgoing mail. Step 1. Composing and sending an email. When a user composes an email and hits send in their email client, the MUA, the email is handed off to the local email server, which is the SMTP server. Step 2. SMTP process. The SMTP server takes responsibility for delivering the message. If the recipient is on the same domain, the email is delivered directly to the MDA on the same server. If not, the SMTP server looks up the recipient's MX records via DNS to find out which server handles mail for the recipient's domain. Step 3. Routing. The SMTP server sends the email to the recipient's email server, MTA, over the internet using a series of handshakes and commands defined by the SMTP protocol. Recipient side, incoming mail. Step 4. Receiving the email. When the recipient's MTA receives the email, it delivers the message to the recipient's inbox. If the email server uses an MDA, it hands the email over to the MDA, which stores it in the correct mailbox. Step 5. User retrieves email. The recipient uses an MUA, like a desktop email client or webmail, to retrieve the email. Two common protocols are used for this. POP3, Post Office Protocol 3, which downloads the email from the server to the user's device and, depending on settings, may delete it from the server. IMAP, Internet Message Access Protocol, which allows the user to view emails stored on the server without downloading them, enabling synchronization across multiple devices. Protocols involved in email communication. SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, is used for sending outgoing mail. It ensures that emails are routed correctly from the sender's server to the recipient's server. POP3, Post Office Protocol 3, is used for retrieving emails from a server to a client, usually downloading the message locally. IMAP, Internet Message Access Protocol, is used to manage and retrieve emails, allowing messages to remain on the server and be accessed from multiple devices. DNS, Domain Name System, resolves the domain name of the recipient's email address to the correct mail server using MX records. Now let's dive into some advanced features of modern email servers. First up, we have spam filtering. Modern email servers are equipped with spam filters to block unwanted emails. These filters can check for certain keywords, IP addresses, or email behaviors that are associated with spam. Next, we have encryption. To ensure security, emails can be encrypted during transit using TLS, for example, or at rest using PGP encryption. Lastly, there's authentication. Email servers often use protocols like SPF, which stands for Sender Policy Framework, DKIM, or Domain Keys Identified Mail, and DMARC, which is Domain-Based Message Authentication, Reporting, and Conformance. These protocols help authenticate the sender's domain and protect against phishing attacks. Alright, moving on to error handling and bounced emails. If there is an issue with delivering the email, for example, if the recipient's address is invalid or the server is unavailable, the sender's SMTP server will generate a bounce message. This error message is sent back to the original sender, informing them why the delivery failed. Webmail and cloud email services like Gmail and Outlook.com, operate email servers in the cloud. Users interact with these servers via a web interface or mobile apps, but behind the scenes, they still use SMTP, IMAP, or POP3 protocols. Security considerations are crucial for email servers. Many email servers are equipped with firewalls and antivirus software to scan incoming and outgoing emails for malware. Secure SMTP or SMTPS encrypts email communication to prevent eavesdropping during transmission. Let's walk through an example of email flow. First, a user sends an email using an email client, also known as an MUA. The client forwards the email to the SMTP server or MTA. The SMTP server queries DNS to locate the recipient's mail server using the MX record. Next, the email is transferred to the recipient's MTA. The MTA then forwards the email to the MDA for delivery to the recipient's inbox. Finally, the recipient accesses the email via an MUA using IMAP or POP3. In conclusion, an email server works by coordinating between various components like the MTA, MDA, and MUA, using protocols such as SMTP, IMAP, and POP3 to ensure the smooth sending, receiving, and retrieval of emails. Encryption, spam filters, and authentication mechanisms are also part of modern email server functionality to ensure security and efficiency.